So I've been doing all kinds of stuff around the lab, mostly in aid of my Piwars robot. Now, I've been 3D printing stuff, but there's been support everywhere and I've had to drill some out. Now, drilling something like this out is fairly easy because I can use this, clamp it in somewhere there, and that'll hold it. That's just fine. But something like this, a round thing, well, I'm not going to be able to get it to hold here particularly well. And I also needed perhaps to put some flat edges on some of the axles to stop the gears slipping on my gearbox. So I actually went and asked a question on the internet to try and find out how do people deal with this. And that's where I found out about this, a V-block. So a V-block and clamp set now. I've gotten a great big one and I've only got a tiny thing here, so maybe I got the wrong size, but then there are some things where I do need this size. So it's just arrived. And I guess you slot that in there. It's got quite a lot of grease on it, and I'm doing this one-handed because I'm using the phone to record. And that's actually not got any give at all. Hold on. Well, I went and found the largest Allen key I could find in my lab. I might have some somewhere to try and get this thing to move, and unfortunately, it's not quite large enough. I mean, that just swings freely. So I'm used to working with fairly miniature items. So I'm going to use these piddly little pliers just to see if I can get it to unstick, because it was seized. So I'll give that a good shove. There we go, got it. Right, so I guess it's still giving some resistance. It's not really designed to be operated with one hand. No, it's still going to need quite a lot of coaxing. Okay. There we go. Yeah, okay. Hold on, let me get... So I believe what I've got to do is release the screw and then slot it into those slots. So let me release the screw. Okay, so I've backed it off quite a bit now and I've got a bit of space. Hopefully that's enough to get it on. Yeah, it is just about. Okay, I'm going to have to release it a bit more to actually get my thing into it. Let's try that. There we go. I've got that teeny round peg right where it needs to be. And it's tightened here. Now, it's still kind of balancing like that. So actually, I'm going to use this with the other clamp just to give it a bit more of that stability that way. And then I should be able to drill into it. There we go, that fits nicely. And clamp that. My fingers are covered in grease. This whole thing is greased up, including this block. But that is not going anywhere, and that's not going to rotate. Okay, so time to drill it. So the reason I'm drilling, and it's slightly hard to see, there we go. So that hole has got basically some 3D print rubbish. It didn't quite come out perfectly. Some of the other pegs from the same system came out worse. So each one I'm going to go through with a 3mm drill and clear. Ah. Okay. It definitely needed a bit more force on there to stop it actually getting pulled into the drill. Right, I think I could call that a success. There is a nice clear hole. My screws are going to go nicely through that to bolt onto. There's a captive bolt the other side. So it's going to end up in one of these. Now I've still got to clear out, you can see there's some 3D printing crud that's got right into that captive bolt slot there, or captive nut I should say. So each of those pegs would clip into one of these. A screw would go through. There would actually be a chassis plate that the pegs go through. And then there'd be a captive nut here to hold the other end. So I'll call that a success, and this is a parts you'll see in my Piwars 2019 robot. So go make stuff and be awesome. Bye!